Hi, Tony Bradshaw with AddSomeToYourIncome.com, where we focus on how to increase your income, mostly through creating things of value that you can sell. Today, I'm going to jump into how to increase your income, with the answer being argue. Yes, I just said argue. Argue and arguments and having that disagreement to the point that you get creative of how to prove your point. Let me give you a story and an explanation of why. Obviously, this is unexpected advice. Argue? That's going to make me more money? How? And what kind of income? What am I even talking about? Let's dive in. We are naturally designed to prove our point. I have a point to prove, and I'd like to figure out how to prove my point. One man, whose name was Merle, great name, Merle. Merle was arguing with his grown-up son about some of the rules of a game called Crazy Eights. In the argument, he decides to invent a new game to play at the kitchen table to prove his point to his son. Now, Merle was just a regular little barber. He had a barber shop. That's what he did. That was his work. That was his labor that he did. Of the three types of income, we're talking today about passive income. Arguing should be a passive thing that you do just to pass the time. Your labor and you're doing your work. Obviously, if he's at the barbershop, he's got someone in the chair. Not the right time to be arguing, right? And trying to prove points. He wants his customer to feel the best that he can, give him the great service. That's what he's doing, and it's his labor, taking care of people's hair. This was some passive income that resulted from this. Merle created the game Uno. Now, I have this in a bag because I today picked this up down in the staff lounge. I picked this up because I realized at our house we actually don't have a game of Uno yet. And there in the staff lounge, summertime, there are a lot of things with teachers that are moving out. They kind of unload things from their room and put it down into the staff lounge. Well, I saw these Uno cards and I thought, we don't have a deck of Uno cards at the house yet. I'll get these to play Uno with the kids. It's got the instructions, it's in a bag. Anyway, Uno. Then I got kind of curious, like, who created Uno? Because my message that I keep saying is add to your income by creating something of value that's going to be able to sell. Who created this? And come to find out, this Merle Robbins had this argument with his son, who was a teacher. And to resolve the argument, he created a brand new game. So there they are. They're just around the kitchen table at their house. They make these decks of cards, and they just play around the family dining room table. They are playing this brand new game that he's got. I wanted to find out how eventually it got to the point that he called it Uno. I didn't get that far in my research, but maybe you can. Regardless, it's a great little combination of Spanish being a language to pull into this. And when you get down to your last card, you say Uno. They played it. They liked it so much that they decided to save up money. Now, this was back in the 1970s. And they saved up $8,000 to be able to buy 5,000 Uno decks to sell. And he would sell them from his barbershop. Now, you can imagine how he's telling the story, right? I was arguing with my son, and I'll prove my point. And then now here's this game. You should try it. It was really fun. My kids liked it. And you can play with even young kids. As long as they can tell their colors and their numbers, they can play this game. And they just have to learn one word, which is Uno. Off they go. And his son hands them out to students. Right? He's giving them out. Here, you're being a great student today. Here's a prize for you. My dad created this game and made his point, right? And here you go, the Uno cards. So that starts the spread of it. By within a year, he sells the rights to the Uno game to a game company making him $50,000. $50,000. $8,000 in about after time. So when we talk passive income, and I hope you watch more of the videos on my channel. Feel free to look around on the passive income because that's what I'm kind of focused on today about the argue so that you can get passive income. The passive income means that you do a lot of work. They did a lot of work, all that arguing and figuring it out, and then dad finally like, I'm going to create a game to prove this point. They try the game, they have fun with it. Who knows? They probably had some neighbor kids. They also tried the game. Oh yeah, that's dad's game. Yeah, well, let's try it. It was fun. And they, kind of get to the point where it's ready to put in the $8,000 to buy 5,000 sets of them. They get a box of 5,000 Uno cards, right? There is that box of Uno cards. So then what does he do? He does his labor. He just continues his labor, but he's got his passive stuff too on the side, this passionate thing that he's got going on, right? This argument. You get passionate enough about something to argue it, you can then find creative ways to prove your point. Create that game. You take that game, this family take that game, and it ends up working so well that they get with the game company. Now, I don't know all the story. I'm going to try and fill in some blanks based on what I know about how things go from being a box in the garage to international best-selling game. I'm imagining that this Merle Robbins took time to contact game companies with his game. He probably modified rules just a little bit and kept contacting games. He probably kept a track record of how the game was selling and seeing how that was going and the reviews that he was getting. It didn't just happen. The game store didn't just find him. He went to the market. He knew he had something that was valuable, that could be sold, and he went to the market with the game. Then the game company sees the value of this particular game and offers the $50,000. Now, there's one more step that I think was really important in what Merle Robbins did. Merle Robbins. Merle rhymes with Earl. Merle didn't just sell out $50,000 and done. No, he was very wise about his passive income and made sure to be getting what are called royalties. That meant that for every single copy that sold after that, he would receive 10 cents. That's important when it comes to selling out the actual game. So selling the game and all the rules and all that to a company is one piece. Another piece is now every time you sell a copy of the game I invented, I will receive 10 cents or whatever it is. Because then as the game is sold and sold and sold and sold, because it's a successful game, you kind of have to let go of it and the ownership of it, allow that to happen, giving it to the world. Then you have an agreement that I will still be compensated, not just a one-time payment, but I will receive ongoing income. That's the passive income. According to Wikipedia, 151 million copies have been sold worldwide. If he's only getting a penny on every one of those, he is a millionaire. He's a millionaire a few times over, or at least his family, because according to Wikipedia, he passed away in 1984. Still, by 1984, the game was a success, and he was seeing passive income. He no longer had to cut hair. He could sit at home and enjoy his life with money coming in. So I share all this, and really, how do you increase your income? There are many ways, not just arguing. And really, it wasn't just about arguing. It was an argument. It was a disagreement that was resolved by creating a game that then became something the family got behind and around and enjoyed to the point that they were willing to scrimp and save to get the money to buy 5,000, to give a lot of those away, sell others, and eventually have a successful game. This Uno game becomes a family, how's it called again? Household name. A household name because someone in 1971 invented it. What are you going to be inventing to increase your income? I look forward to hearing what it is and finding out who you become. I also look forward to seeing you on the other side.